That skill presents rate. A rate is a comparison between two quantities measured in different units. For example, when the distance traveled by a car is measured against the time taken, we express it in kilometers per hour, which is also called the speed of the car. If you can type, say, a certain number of words in a certain number of minutes, we express that as word per minute, and that becomes your typing speed. Note that on each one, the two quantities are different. On the first one, we have a distance compared against time. On the second one, we have a certain number of words compared against time again. To express quantities as a rate in their simplest forms, divide the quantities until the second reduces to a single unit. And here comes the first example. Daniel can prepare 12 wall paintings in 3 weeks. How much time does he need to prepare 20 wall paintings? Well, we could say that his rate of preparing wall paintings is equal to 12 paintings over a period of 3 weeks. And that equates to 12 over 3 is 4. So we have 4 paintings per week or 1 week. And then we need to find the time needed for 20 paintings. So this is going to be equal to 20 paintings over a certain number of weeks. Now, if you look at this number 4 and this number 20, you multiply 4 with 5, you get 20, and therefore, you need to multiply the denominator as well with 5 because the rate is fixed. Therefore, the fraction, number of paintings over number of weeks is fixed. So we have 20 paintings over 5 weeks, which means he would take 5 weeks to make 20 wall paintings. Let's do another one. Joseph can ride his motorcycle for 300 kilometers on 40 liters of petrol. What is the rate of petrol consumption in liters per 100 kilometers? This is important. So essentially we need to find how many liters will be consumed if Joseph were to ride his motorcycle for 100 kilometers. Given this piece of information, 40 liters for 300 kilometers. So we have a certain number of liters over 100 kilometers, and that's the rate of the fuel consumption, is equal to, we have 40 on the other side, 40 liters over 300 kilometers. Now once again, if you look at this number 100 and 300, they're related by a factor of 3. So if you want to go from 300 to 100, you essentially divide that with 3. And because the rate is fixed, which means all these fractions that you get are equivalent fractions, you need to divide this 40 with 3 as well. And 40 divided by 3 is 13.33. So the rate of this fuel consumption in liters per 100 kilometers is 13.33 liters per 100 kilometers. Let's do another one. Jade learned 10 recipes in 4 weeks. At this rate, that means the rate is fixed. How many recipes can she learn in 10 weeks? So once again, the rate, which is fixed at this rate, the rate is 10 recipes over a period of 4 weeks or per 4 weeks. And that has to be equal to a certain number of recipes we need to find out over a period of 10 weeks. Now you could think of this fraction 10 over 4 as same as 5 seconds. you could just divide 4 with 2 and 10 with 2. You get 5 on the top. So that's equal to, the rate is equal to 5 recipes per every 2 weeks. That's how she could learn 10 recipes in 4 weeks. And that is equal to a certain number of recipes over 10 weeks. Now if you look at 2 and 10 now, 2 times 5 is 10. And therefore, to keep the same rate, we need to multiply 5 with 5. So we have 25 recipes over a period of 10 weeks. So how many recipes? The answer is 25. She can learn in 10 weeks.